All right, South America 101 Part 2. The introduction is done. If you need to know anything else about me, look back at other stuff. Let's move forward. Let's talk about it. The reason why 3 years ago I wanted to go down to South America, being an American, and having family that's immigrated from the Caribbean, Cuba. Um, I wanted to see what what the expenses would be to live down there if I just retired now and just, stopped once again because the last couple of years I've been putting in a little bit more than I should have, to be honest with you. I'm not completely retired. I work 2 or 3 months and then the rest of the time I'm retired. But I wanted to find a place that I could just do it fully and then just make a little bit of money here and there if I need to in the future. So, uh, I started my trek to Mexico, and I spent about 5 months in Mexico in total, in Mexico City, Puerto Vallarta, different parts. And it was really cool. It was cool. I like the people. I like I like the energy there. The weather is similar to Florida, so it can get pretty hot. Um, there was just it wasn't that cheap. And I was thinking, in order to get the best out of my life, I need a couple things, right? I need it to be as cheap as possible. I need it to be as safe as possible for the money. I need to have access to like food and services and what's the medical like, stuff like that. I need to have an airport that can fly me back to the United States same day, no problem. I just needed a couple things. I wasn't going out to the Amazon to just disappear. Although it's beautiful out there. South America is full of opportunity, especially for Americans. It's like the South American people are under the belief that their educational system and their culture and the way that their level of advancement at this point, they seem to think it's a lot higher than what it is. Well, I would think that every government for 50, 60 years has just probably been controlling media and all the propaganda. And a lot of these countries are limiting the amount of content that comes out that talks about these places because, they need their taxpayers and it's a business. At the end of the day, all of the things that are around you in the country that you're in is part of the business that makes up your country's budget. So you have to understand that. Like, if people aren't paying their taxes or companies aren't doing well, like if Target isn't selling and Ford isn't selling and Verizon isn't getting paid on their services and canceling a lot of contracts and losing money on cell phones, whatever it could be, if there's a problem with an American country, I mean, a problem with an American company, that is affecting the country, that is affecting the budgets. So for years, there's been a lot of stores that have been kept alive by banks that are funded by the federal government, as far as I can see. And this, I don't see why it would not be this way. But in countries like America, for example, um, yeah, like all of these businesses that are just massive and have tons of people working there and tons of merchandise, and nobody's leaving the store with anything. These are companies that are destroying the budget, and they have been for years. Companies like Kmart, Sears, um, maybe even stores like Big Lots. That seems like a store that doesn't turn a whole lot of profit, I'm gonna be honest with you. And then the Denny's and the Red Lobsters and the Shells and all the different restaurants and stuff that are out there that have been empty for a long time have been kept alive by loans and government assistance. and they've been draining the crap out of the population. Now we're getting to a point where we as an overall world, if we worked together, we could all be fed, we could all be educated, we could all survive together, and the world would be harvested the correct way. We could make mega cities where people don't have to use cars, so the emissions will be nothing. I mean, we could really take this thing into the future. And I think what's happening now is you're getting those people that have always benefited from the way that the system is by oppressing everybody else that doesn't have the information, the technology, or the family lineage to pull off some type of major move like the Rockefellers. I think it's always been like that, but this is primitive culture now. And now there's so many people. And so many people that are into learning new things that are connected to the internet platforms that people are just learning all types of shit, and the world is fully escaping bondage as we speak. People are happy to be let go from their jobs. People are happy to be foreclosed on. People are against the system and the status quo. This could be scary in lots of countries. This could be scary in places like America. And I saw this coming like 10 years ago. And I just started traveling the United States looking for a place that might be kind of safe from when America's got to revert back to kind of the Stone Age because they're financially tapped and the world doesn't want to lend them any more money and they default like Argentina did back in 2000. Look into it. I mean, there's only so much you can do, so much bullshit that you can spread before somebody starts questioning it. Like, they said forever we couldn't build electric cars, and we built them. They said it can be done. I mean, they said we couldn't fly. They said we could not fly, and I have been in the air flying all my life. I have flown from continent to continent. They said this couldn't be done. Everybody's going to tell you that South America can't be done. Everybody speaks Spanish. They're going to shoot you with bows and arrows. The cartel runs everything. There's a bunch of bullshit out there. There really is. What you have to do is you have to get yourself down to South America and come and check me out. Come to one of my lectures, spend 10 days down there. I'll give you like a guide. And I actually have people that can take you around and stuff. I'll set you up with like a tour company and everything. You come down to South America if you're interested, and maybe leaving the world behind in America and you want to do something different. Hit me up. Hit me up. It's super cheap. I'll book everything for you. And 10 days, if I show you around and I point you in the right direction for you to do your own exploring and do your own math and stuff, I guarantee you, you're gonna you're gonna see the world at least differently. One of the problems with America, is the food situation. So in the next chapter, I'm going to go ahead and break into that, start talking about the food, because to me, food's super important. But yeah, the language was the first thing on the list. How do I overcome the problems with the language? And then I just immerse myself in it, right? And if you're the learning type and you can adapt, you're going to learn the language. It's going to happen. I know you're probably resistant to it right now, but wherever you go, you're going to learn the language. You just have to meet people. You have to figure out how you're going to meet people and make friends. And you guys will teach each other. You'll be teaching them English. They'll be teaching you whatever language they're in. You got to do it. If this is something that's on your heart, you've got that nomad spirit, you got to do it.